Good morning, student. Today we are going to start our new lesson, temperature. Here you are seeing a picture. Here a diagram is given to you. In this diagram, you are seeing a torch light, a torch, then a paper which put on a stand. In figure B, you are seeing a torch and the same paper, but the direction of that paper, the position of that paper is changed. What these two figures are going to tell us? We are going to learn this. This figure is about the perpendicular and slanting area occupied by the torchlight. This figure is about the perpendicular. In first figure, means in 5.1 a figure, you are seeing the torchlight perpendicular on the paper. And in figure 5.1 b, you are seeing the the torchlight slanting on the paper. Now we are going to see the lesson. Take a torchlight and keep it stable at one place. Take two large paper sheets large enough to accommodate its entire beam. Paste the papers onto flat boards. Here they tell us to take a torchlight and keep it stable at one place. We need to keep the torchlight stable at one place. Then they told us to take two large paper sheets, large enough to accommodate its entire beam. Means the paper should be so large that the entire beam of the torch receives it. Paste the papers onto flat boards. They told us to paste the papers onto flat boards. Next, hold the board perpendicular to the beam. Then the board is hold perpendicular to the beam, just like given in figure 5.1a. Draw the outline of the area lit up by the beam. Name the paper A. Then when we put on the torch, then the area which is lit up by the beam of the torchlight, then the area which is lit up by the beam of the torchlight, circle that area, outline that area, draw the outline of that area and name this paper as paper A. Then now use the other paper. Hold it in such a way that it makes an angle of 120 degree with the beam. Figure 5.1b. Then now use the other paper. Now we are going to use the second paper, the other paper, and we have to hold that paper in such a way that it makes an angle of 120 degree, with the beam just given as in figure 5.1b. Draw the outline of the area occupied by the beam. Then, as we do in first figure, we outline the area occupied by the beam. Just like that, in figure 5.1b, we have to outline the area occupied by the beam of the torch. Now, name the paper B. We gave paper B to this paper. Observe both the papers A and B. Now observe both the papers, paper A and paper B. Now tell, on which paper does the beam occupy a large area? You saw the figure. You saw the figure. In that figure, the first question is given. Now we are going to see the figure once again. Now look carefully at this figure. The question is given that on which paper does the beam occupy a large area? मीन्स यहाँ पर हमें पूछा है कि कौन से पेपर पे जो सन बीम्स है, जो टॉर्च के बीम्स है, उन्होंने ज़्यादा एरिया ऑक्यूपाई किया है. एंड द आंसर इज फिगर बी. सेकंड क्वेश्चन, ऑन विच पेपर इज द एरिया स्मॉलर? कौन से फिगर पे कम एरिया उन्होंने ऑक्यूपाई किया है, तो उसका आंसर आएगा फिगर ए. Write down the answers of these two questions in your notebook. Now change the angle between the beam of light and the paper. Now they told us to change the angle of the beam, light and the paper. Observe the changes that occur in the area occupied by the beam of light. Then we observe. They told us to observe the changes that occur in the area occupied by the beam of light. What is the relation between the angle of the paper and the area occupied by beam? What is the relation between the angle of the paper and the area occupied by the beam? Now the explanation is given here. Sun rays coming towards the earth. Sun rays coming towards the earth, straight lights. When we see the figure, we came to know that the beams of the torch which came in straight line on the paper, or which falls in a straight line on the paper, that occupy very small area. Just like the sun rays coming towards the earth in straight lines. Earth travel in straight line. Sun rays coming towards the earth travel in straight lines. We know that the sun rays coming towards the earth travel in a straight line. However, as the earth is spherical in shape, but we also know that the earth is spherical in shape, these are not perpendicular to all the parts of the earth's surface. These sun rays does not fall perpendicular. These sun rays does not fall perpendicular to all the parts of the earth's surface. Why did this occur? This occurs due to the shape of the earth, because the shape of the earth is spherical. In some parts they are perpendicular, whereas in other parts they are slanting, and due to the spherical shape of the earth, they are perpendicular at some place, and at some place they are slanting. Let us see what effect it has on the earth. Now we are going to learn what happens due to the perpendicular rays of the sun and due to the slanting rays of the sun. The perpendicular rays occupy less area. Figure 5.1a. In our figure we see that the perpendicular rays occupy less area, just like we saw in figure 5.1a. The part where the rays occupy lesser area receives bright sunshine and greater heat, and the part where the rays occupy lesser area, means when the rays when the rays falls on the earth in a perpendicular as perpendicular, that area receives bright sunshine and greater heat. That area receives bright sunshine and greater heat. Hence the surface there gets heated more and the air becomes hotter. And as the area receives bright sunshine and greater heat, the surface of that area gets heated. The surface of that area gets heated more and the air in that area also becomes hotter. The slant rays occupy a large area, and where the sun rays falls in a slanting position, that area occupy a larger area. When the sun rays fall slanting, it occupy a larger area, as we saw in figure 5.1b. In this area, sunlight appears less bright and there is less heat. And so, this area appears less bright. Due to the slanting position of the sun rays, this area appears less bright and there is less heat. Hence, the surface there gets less heated and the air too is less hot. And so, the surface there gets less heated. And so, this surface is less heated and the air is also less hot. Students, here we saw some part of our lesson temperature, and we will learn the next part in our next period. Thank you.